everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we're making this adorable little penguin ornament. This is such a cute little amigurumi, and then you can just add a little string to it to make it an ornament to put on your tree this year. And this is our last on the 12 Days of Christmas series, so if you haven't already seen my other videos of the other ornaments, there are 12 ornaments in this series for this 12 Days of Christmas ornament collection, so make sure you check out those other videos. But in this video today we're using Red Heart Super Saver yarn. Big thank you to Red Heart for providing this yarn today. They're so awesome. Also we are using a little bit of polyfill, and the crochet hook I'm using is an F hook, which is 3.75 millimeters. So make sure you have that size. You can also go up to an H hook, or even a G hook is 4 millimeters, H hook is 5 millimeters, so you can use a larger hook if you need to. But this specific hook I've been using in all the 12 Days of Christmas ornament collection. This is a hook from the Etsy shop Would Be Fancy. You can get that, the link in the description of this video to get your very own. They are super fabulous hand-carved ergonomic hooks, so make sure you check out that shop and get your crochet hooks for the holidays. Also, there are scissors and a yarn needle on the supply list as well, because we are going to cut yarn and sew some things together. So those are all the supplies you're going to need. Now before I begin, I want to mention there are links in the description of this video. There's a link to the free written pattern on YARNutopia.com for this little chubby penguin. Also, there is a link to my Facebook, Instagram, and my username for my Snapchat. So make sure you follow me on social media so you can get the update on when we post our next video and our next pattern, and just keep up to date with crochet projects. And also subscribe to our channel here on YouTube so you can get that update when my dad posts the next one. Big thank you to Red Heart for the yarn, and big thank you to my dad for filming and editing this footage and letting you guys see it on YouTube. So now let's get started and make this cute little penguin ornament. Let's start out with some black yarn. We are going to work from the bottom up, okay? So let's make a slip knot. Put your short end over your long end, then fold this down, and then pull your long end through that loop. Pull tight, and there's your slip knot. Then you can insert your hook, and we can begin. Now, to start off, we are going to chain 2, so yarn over and pull through 1 and 2. And in that second chain from the hook right here, we are going to put 6 single crochets. So go into that chain right there, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Just like that. That is a single crochet. So let's do 6 of those. So that was 1, go back in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That's 2. Here's 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So now we have 6 stitches all the way around. At this point you can grab a stitch marker or a different piece of yarn to mark your rounds. I just have a little piece of yarn here, but if you have like an actual stitch marker, you can stick that in there to mark your rounds. And we're going to work in the back loops only, and in continuous rounds for this project. So usually what we do is work through both loops here. You can see both loops right there. I know it's kind of difficult to see in black yarn, but there's both loops right there. The loop that's furthest away from you right here, that's what we're going to work in. So the back loops only. But you can work in both loops if you want to, but I'm going to be working in those back loops for this whole pattern. So in round 2, we are going to increase. So we have our stitch marker in there. We're going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So in this back loop here, just go in, yarn over and pull that through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Go back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And there are 2 single crochets in that stitch. Hop to the next stitch, back loop only, and put 2 single crochets in there and in each stitch around. So at the end of round 2, we're going to have 12 single crochets. So I'm actually halfway there, so you can just continue watching and we can go on to round 3 next. We'll just have to move our stitch marker up and go on to round 3. So here's my last stitch of this round. And I know the black yarn is going to be kind of difficult to see, but bear with me here. The written pattern is also on YARNutopia.com, so you can see the next steps to do in written format as well. So let's move our stitch marker up and go on to round 3. We are going to increase again, and then at the end of this round we're going to actually change to white. We're going to include the white yarn in this at the end of this round. So for round 3, excuse me, we are going to put 2 single crochets in this next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch right here, 1. Okay, then 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and just repeat that sequence all the way around. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, and just repeat. So at the end of round 3, we'll have 18 single crochets. So I'm going to do that, and I'll meet you up for at the end of this round. When you have 1 stitch left on round 3 here, we are going to change color for round 4. So when you have 1 stitch left and you just have to put 1 single crochet in there, what you need to do is go into that stitch, then yarn over and pull through with the black yarn. Okay, just hold those 2 loops on your hook and drop the black yarn in the back, and grab the white yarn now, hook that on, and pull it through those 2 loops on your hook, just like that, to finish off that last stitch. And you can kind of pull these strings tight here, just like that. And that way, now we are with the white yarn, and the black yarn we're just going to leave in the back. Now do not cut the black yarn, we are going to pick it up on the other side. So what we're going to do now is you can move your stitch marker up right here. Okay, just kind of pull everything kind of tight. And there we go. And then what we're going to do is go on to round 4. Now for rounds 4, let's see here, 4, 5, and 6. Oh, I guess we're actually working from the top down. So 4, 5, and 6, we're just going to single crochet in the first 6 stitches with this white yarn. So let's go into this first stitch right here in the back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, then the next stitch, just 1. So in these first 6 stitches, we're just going to put 1. So 1, 2, 3, next stitch, 4, 5, and then this last stitch, the 6th stitch, we're going to change back to black. So go into this stitch right here in the back loop, yarn over with white and pull through, hold those 2 loops on your hook, and then what we're going to do now is grab the strand that we did not cut from across the way here, right at the beginning. Where is it? There it is. Sorry, I have like so many strands here. So this is attached to the ball of yarn. So we're going to loop it up like this, and then kind of give it some room, and hook it onto the hook, and then pull it through those 2 loops to finish off that stitch. Okay, now we have this loop here, but we are going to cut that later. Just hold off on that. You can drop the white yarn in the back there, and now we have the black yarn on our hook, just like that. And now with the rest of the stitches around, there should be 12 stitches left. We are just going to put a single crochet in each one of those. So let's count here. 1, next stitch 2 with black only here. 3, 4, do not cut that white yarn either. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here's 10, 2 more, 11, and 12. Okay, so now we're back to the next round. So the next round, what we're going to do, actually we should have changed color after that. So I'm going to take that apart, this last stitch. Okay, so for that last stitch on this round here, round 4, we're going to go in, yarn over, pull through with the black yarn, then drop that, and then pick up the white yarn across the way. It's on the other side here. There it is, don't get it too tangled and everything. Right here. Okay, I'm going to kind of fold it like that, hook it on my hook, and then pull that through those 2 loops to finish off that last stitch on that round. Okay, Then I'm dropping the black yarn in the back, and you can see now this loop here and this loop here, there's those two. We're going to cut those ones later, okay? So just keep them in there. Those will be tied together and sewn in or hidden on the inside of this piece. So now we're on round 5, so we're going to repeat what we did. So single crochet into these first 6 stitches in the back loop only of this white yarn, and on the 6th stitch we are going to change color to black. So let's go to the 6th stitch right here, yarn over, pull through with the white, drop that white in the back, then pick up the black on the other side right here, hook it on your hand like that, and hook it onto the hook like this and pull it through. You just want there to be enough slack in there on the inside, so when we do cut this and tie this in knots, you're not super tight on the inside. That's why I pull this loop or this kind of loose yarn in the inside there. So now I dropped the white yarn in the back, I have black yarn on my hook, and now we are going to single crochet in the rest of the stitches around. Now at this point you can see here when the colors change, you can kind of see right here that there's like a big gap in the first stitch after the color change. Do not worry about that. It's not going to fall apart, it's not going to unravel. Later on when we grab the yarns and pull tight on everything and tie this all together, it will tighten up and it will then close up and you won't see any holes. So no worries about that. So I'm just going to single crochet in the rest of the stitches on this round. And then round 6 is exactly the same. So I'll start it out, but you know how to do it now. We're just going to change color on the last stitch of this round and single crochet 6 stitches in white and then change back to black and then single crochet in the rest of the stitches around. So you can see I'm on my last stitch here, going on to round 6, and you can see my stitch marker here. I'm not really even moving it up because you know that the beginning of the round is the color change now, okay? So going on to the next round, round 6, holding this up, pulling this through, and pulling it through those 2 loops to finish that off, pulling everything tight, leaving this loop in the back, and then single crochet in the first 6 stitches, change to black, and then single crochet in the rest of the stitches with black. Okay, so do that. It's just repeating round 4 and 5. Then when we finish round 6, I'll meet you up and we will go on to round 7. Alright, so I'm finished with round 6. I just have 1 stitch left, but we are going to change color to white. And you can see my stitch marker here. This is the start of your rounds, okay? And this next stitch is going to be changed to white, so I have 1 stitch left where I'm going to when we go on to round 7. But I'm going to actually pull this loop up here and remove my hook because I do want to show you what we're going to do with all of this. So you can see we changed color here for those 3 rounds. That was round 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to flip this inside out so you can see exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to flip everything to the front of your penguin here. Okay, and if you want to chop these loops, so you can see we have those loops just like this. You can chop them and tie them, so I can show you how to do that right now, and then you won't have to see that later. So what we're going to do, there's about 5 loops right here. I'm going to cut them down the center. Okay, make sure they're equal on both sides. Cut them down the center. Okay, just like that. So now we have these side and this side. And you'll see it's white, black, white, black, white, black. Okay, that's how it should be. Okay, so what and then you can see here, it should be black, white, black, white, black, white, and then there's black right here, but we're going to use that strand still. So these top 5 here, or I guess these top 4 here, can be tied together. So what we're going to do, you're going to tie a white one to a black one. So I'll show you right here. I'm going to take this strand and this strand and crisscross them and go through just like that. And then just crisscross them again and go through and pull. So tie them in a knot just like that, okay? And tie each one of these in a knot. So So we're going to take this one around this one, and then, sorry, I'm like covering it. There we go. Just like that. Okay, and that way you can tie them off and then just forget about them because they're going to be on the inside of your penguin. But you have to make sure to tie them all, so don't leave any undone. And if you do leave this one undone because we have this working yarn, later on we'll, you know, tie them all off. So on this side too, just make sure you tie every single one. And if one, you know, comes out extra, you can tie 3 together. So you can take 2 strands in one hand right here, and then 1 strand in the other hand, and tie them all 3 together if you have an extra strand in there, especially closer to the end when we will have 1 extra strand. So that's just a little tip. But tie them all in knots, okay, with their corresponding partner here. So this white one and this black one will be tied together, just like that, and this white one and this black one will be tied together. Okay, I'm sorry, it's like hard to see because my fingers are all in the way, but you know what to do, just tie them all. Okay, I'm just going to tie these 2 and then I'll be done. Okay, so the rest of these now, when we do change color and we get down further on the body part of this penguin, I'm not going to show you. You'll just know now to tie them together. And the written instructions also share that, so I can't forget to tie that one. So anyway, we're going to insert our hook into this here. Okay, I still have this strand still attached, and we're going to change color to white. So going on to round 7 now, this last stitch of round 6, we are going to go in, then yarn over, pull through, drop the black yarn in the back, pick up the white yarn, and remember, just hold up that loop just like that and just hook it on so you have space on the inside of this so you can cut that and tie those strands together later. Okay, just like that. Pull everything tight. And now going on to round 7, we are going to put, let's see here, single crochet, let's see here, single crochet 2 together, single crochet in the next. Oh, okay, so we're going to make the neck area. So this is going to come in just a hair. So let's single crochet 2 together, go into this next stitch right here, yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch right here, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. That's a single crochet decrease, single crochet 2 together. Then we're just going to put 1 single crochet into the next stitch. Go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And then we're going to do that again one more time. So single crochet 2 together, so go into this next stitch, yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over and pull through all 3 of the loops on your hook, just like that. Now after this stitch right here, we are going to change to black. So go into this next stitch right here, yarn over, pull through, drop that white yarn, pick up the black yarn, hook it onto your hook, make sure that there's a loop right there so there's extra on the inside so when you cut it later you can tie your knots evenly and equally. Pull that through. Okay. And now we can go on to the rest of this round. So we're going to actually repeat that sequence still. We're going to single crochet 2 together, so go into this next stitch, yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and then single crochet into the next stitch. Okay, 3 more times we got to do that. So go into this next stitch, yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and then single crochet into the next stitch. And also remember, I'm working in the back loops only. Okay, 2 more times I have to do that. Single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet into the next stitch. Then single crochet 2 together, and then in the last stitch we are going to change to white and go on to round 8. So let's go into this next stitch right here, yarn over, pull through, drop that black yarn, pick up the white yarn, hook it on the hook and pull it through. Okay, So you should actually have 12 stitches after that round. Going on to round 8, we are repeating what we did for round 3, but we are changing colors. So I'll show you how to do that. We're going to put 2 single crochets in this next stitch right here. 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. So we're just increasing again. So that was kind of just cinching in for the neck. And now we're onto the body. We're increasing for the body. So put 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next. So you should have 6 white stitches in a row. Actually, after this last one here, I should have changed color to black, because you can see the black starts here. So let me undo that stitch. Okay, go into that stitch, yarn over with white and pull it through, then drop the white yarn, pick up the black yarn, hook that on and pull that through to finish off that stitch. And then we can continue with our repeat, which is 2 single crochets in the next stitch. 1 and 2. I know that loop looks like it's huge right there, but don't worry, I'll pull the strands later and be able to pull it tight so it cinches closed. There we go. So 2 in there, then 1 in the next, then 2 in the next, and then 1 in the next. And at the end of round 8, you will have 18 stitches again. Okay, I'm almost there. 1 in the next, and 2 in the next. And when we're on our last stitch, we're going to change to white. So go in the last stitch here, yarn over, pull through, drop the black yarn, grab the white yarn, pull that through those 2 loops to finish off that round. Okay, now going on to round 9, we are going to increase again. So now we have this white yarn on our hook. We are going to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in each of these next 2 stitches. 1, next stitch, 1. Okay, and then just repeat. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in each of these last 2. But this last white one right here, we're going to change color to black. So go in, yarn over, pull through, drop the white yarn, pick up the black yarn, and hook it on. Okay, and you just want to trail those strands in the back along with your whole work. Just like that, and then just repeat the sequence. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch, back loops only, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So do that for the rest of this round, and I'll meet you up. We'll go on to round 10. Alright, so I just finished round, 9, and I have 24 stitches around. This very last stitch here we are going to change to white, so that's why I'm not working in that very last stitch there to go on to round 10. But I did want to show you that I did end up stuffing everything inside. I did tie off these pieces just like I showed you earlier, so you can cut those loops and then tie your white and black yarns together on each side of here. So then we're still attached on this side, and we're working with the black yarn right now. So we can go on to round 10 and increase to 30 stitches. This is our last increase for this little penguin. So what we're going to do with this last stitch here on round 9, we're going to yarn over and pull through with the black yarn, but then we're going to drop the black yarn in the back and pick up the white yarn. Okay, hook that on just like this and pull it through to finish off that stitch right there. And then we can go on to round 10. So for round 10, we're going to put 2 single crochets in this first stitch right here. Okay, so 2 single crochets in there. Oops. 1 and 2. And then 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Okay, remember back loops only there. 1, next stitch 2, and the next stitch is 3. And then we're just going to repeat that sequence all the way around, except we're changing color after this next sequence here. So let's put 2 single crochets in this next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in each of these next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and this third one here, we're going to change color to black. So go in, yarn over, pull through, hold that on your hook, grab the black yarn, drop the white yarn, hook that on, and pull it through. And finish off that stitch. And just repeat your sequence now. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I gotta do that 3 more times. I'm gonna do that, and then I'll meet you up for the next round. Alright, I'm just finishing round 10, just hooking on my new color here because you can see my stitch marker here, so this is the beginning of the round. So we're going on to round 11 now. So you should have 30 stitches around at this point after round 10. So if you need to count your stitches, you can do so, and I'll cut these later and tie them together later. But now what we're going to do for rounds 11, 12, 13, 14, and just 14, sorry, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So the next 4 rounds, we are going to single crochet in each stitch around, but we're going to obviously switch colors where the colors need to switch. So we're switching colors at this very last stitch to the first stitch, and this is the first stitch of this next round here. And we're going to just single crochet, 1 single crochet in each of these first stitches here. There should be, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, here's 5. So there should be 10 white stitches in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here's 10. And on the 10th one, we are going to change color. So yarn over, pull through, drop that in the back, just like I've been showing you. Hook on this new yarn and pull it through. And pull everything tight. And then just single crochet in the rest of the stitches around. There should be 20 stitches in black. And then at the very last stitch, just switch to white and single crochet around. And that's basically it. So that's for rounds 11 through 14. We're just putting 1 single crochet in each stitch around, change color where you need to change color. And then I'm going to meet you up when I finish round 14. Round 15, we're going to start decreasing and closing the bottom. But before I go, I do want to mention that after round 14, I am going to tie my ends. So I'm going to cut my strands. I'm going to cut these strands in the middle here, right here, and then tie the white and blacks together. Okay, so I'm going to also do that off camera, but I showed you how to do that already, so you can do that, and I'm already going on to round 12. So I'll meet you up when I finish round 14. Alright, so I just tied these all in a knot. I just finished round 14, and so I just cut those loops and then just tied the white to the black all down this side and all down this side. So now I still have my white yarn and my black yarn right here attached. So now what we're going to do, actually, before we close the bottom, I do want to make the facial features of this penguin. So I'm going to grab some black scrap that I have, excuse me, there we go. So I have some black scrap yarn here. I'm just going to embroider 2 little eyes, and then we're going to make orange, embroider a little orange beak. So what I like to do is make French knots, and you can tell that in my other videos for the 12 Days of Christmas Ornaments collection, we made some French knots for eyes. You can embroider your eyes or make French knots like I'm going to. So what we're going to do is kind of just separate this so we can get into the inside here. I just yarned my needle, okay, like this, and we are going to go from the inside of this little penguin here and come out this little hole right about here. Actually right above that, right here. Okay, let me get all this out of the way so you can see. So we're going to come through here, just like that, bring up some yarn, okay, and then I'm going to lay this down here so you can kind of see, or I guess I can stand them up. I'm going to hold this yarn up like this, so I have it over my finger, And then we're going to come through the front of this little thing and come through up like this. Okay, hold that on your needle there. And then go into the very next stitch on your penguin's face. Right here. And if you want to, you can come out the very next stitch because we're going to make the next eye in this next stitch over here. But or you could just go right in, but I think I'll just come out this side so I don't have to finagle my fingers inside of this piece here. We're just going to pull pretty tight. And you can pull both strands. There we go. So there's an eye. Okay? Then we're just going to make 2 eyes. So there's one. Okay, this next one is going to be made right next to it, right here. So again, hold this down here. Poor one-eyed penguin. We're going to make another eye here. So I have this looped over my finger like this. Go from the front around to this inside here, just like that. Okay, hold that on the needle. Go into the very next stitch. And this time we have to end it on the inside. So I'm just going to go through and pull it through with my other hand. Okay, and this one, the second one, you want it to move all the way over to the right. This knot that we made, we want to move it all the way over. Don't tighten it, just move it all the way over to the right. And pull tight, and then pull your needle, and there's the other eye. Love it! Oh my god, it's so cute! Okay, but now on the inside we're going to tie a knot. So I'm going to flip this inside out. Okay, and you can see the 2 strands. Oopsie, got stuck on one here. There we go. So you can see this strand and this strand here. So the eyes are behind here. Okay, so what we're going to do is cut those strands short and then tie those 2 in a knot. Just like we are tying the rest of those strands. Okay, and then flip it right side out again, and there are the 2 eyes. Okay, so now we are going to embroider a beak. So let me grab some orange. Some orange here. Okay, we're going to yarn our needle with the orange yarn. And again, we're going to start from the inside and just kind of embroider a little upside down triangle. Okay, so kind of separate this. Going in from the inside. Start right here. Oops. Okay. And then just make an upside down triangle. And then kind of just wrap it around wherever it fits. There we go. And I mean, you could take your time. I'm kind of going a little faster for the camera, but you want it to look like a beak. Mine's not probably going to look so much like a beak, but I did another one earlier and it looks nice. So you may have to wrap a couple, you know, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, I guess, to get it how you want it. Cute. And then you want to end on the inside, so push that to the inside. Oh, that's super cute. Oh. Okay, so when we end on the inside, I'm going to flip this inside out. I cut the yarn. Okay, so we have these two strands here. Let's go around here. There we go. Those two strands, we're just going to tie those in a knot. So can you see that? There you go. Just wrap around, tie, and tie. And if you want to, you can even cut those shorter, just like that. Then flip it right side out. And there's your little penguin face. How funny. Oh my gosh, that's so funny looking. Okay, so now going on to the next round, round 15, we are going to decrease. So let's grab our crochet hook. Stuck all those little strands on the inside here. Hide all those. And on our last stitch of round 14, we're going to change color to white to go on to round 15. So go into this last stitch, yarn over, pull through with the black, drop that in the back, and pick up the white yarn, and hook that on and pull it through to finish that stitch. Okay, so for round 15, we are going to single crochet 2 together. So remember in round, which one was that? Round 7, when we single crocheted 2 together, go into this stitch right here, yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch right now, right immediately, then yarn over and pull through. So now we have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. That's a single crochet 2 together. Then we're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, next stitch 2, next stitch 3. And then just repeat that again with this white yarn. So single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet in those last 3 stitches, but change color to black after this last one right here. So go in, yarn over, pull through, drop that white, pick up the black, hook that on, and pull it through. Just like that. Then continue the pattern. Single crochet 2 together. Remember, back loops only there. And then single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So at the end of this round, we're going to have 24 stitches again. Okay, so I'll just have to do this repeat 3 more times, and then I'll meet you up and we'll go on to round 16. Alright, just finishing round 15 here. So going on to round 16, I'm going to change color in this last stitch. Oh, you know what? Actually, we're not changing color. We are done using white after round 15. So round 15, we did that decrease. And now for the end of round 15, we are going to actually yarn over it with the black and pull through both of those loops. And that finishes round 15. So you can now actually cut the white yarn completely out of this. And we're done using the white yarn. Okay, going on to round 16 now, we're going to continue with black. We are done using white, and we are going to single crochet 2 together. So go into this next stitch, yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Then we are going to single crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2, and then just repeat that all the way around. So single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2, and now again single crochet 2 together and single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So do that all the way around. At the end of round 16, we'll have 18 stitches all the way around, and I'll meet you up at the end of this round. We'll go on to the next round together. Alright, since I did not use white and I cut the white yarn off, we're actually going to pull up this loop. I just finished round 16. I'm going to turn this inside out, and we are going to finish, you know, tying those off in knots. Okay, just to be safe and not have this unravel. Okay, so you can see we cut majority of these already, but there's just a couple more here, these loops. So I'm going to cut those like that, and then match up on this side which ones are not tied off. So this one and this one have to be tied together. Okay. And oh, this one wasn't tied fully. I remember that. Okay, there. So I tied those, this side, oops, this side is completely tied off, and then this side here just has these two to tie off right here. Okay, so make sure you tie all of these off before you close the bottom. Once you're done, then you can put this right side out again. We have a little stitch marker here. If you want to move that up, you can for this next round. Oopsie, there we go. Okay, so you can move your stitch marker up. And for this next round, round 17, we are going to decrease again. And I'm also, actually, I'm going to grab some stuffing here. And we're going to stuff this piece before closing the top, because round 17 is only going to have 12 stitches around, so it could get a little difficult to stuff anything in here. So if you have like little yarn scraps too, I mean, you can stuff this with yarn scraps and save the polyfill. But I don't have a whole lot of yarn scraps, so I'm just going to stuff this with some polyfill, make it a little chubby little penguin. Make sure you hide all your little strands in there. There we go. See if you can see your stitches or your strands through. Ugh, that's terrible. So we don't want to stuff it too much. And we do want to hide all those loose ends on the inside. So I'm going to move them with my finger on the inside and kind of just slide them to the back. And make sure the polyfill is more in the front. Ooh, you can see that. There we go. So just move all those strands to the back with your finger and stuff it like that. That looks so funny. Oh my gosh, how cute. Okay, then we can close the bottom. So round 17, we are going to single crochet 2 together. So go into this first stitch here, yarn over, pull through, go into the next, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and then single crochet in the next stitch. And just repeat that sequence all the way around. So single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet in the next stitch. And like I said, at the end of this round, you will have 12 single crochets. So I'll do that, and I'll meet you up for the last round. Alright, after round 17, like I said, you should have 12 stitches around, and if you want to stuff this a little bit more, you can. I'm going to move my stitch marker up and go on to round 18. We are going to single crochet 2 together, go into this next stitch, just like this, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. And we're going to single crochet 2 together all the way around, so that's 6 times. So that was 1. So single crochet 2 together, go into this next stitch. It's a little difficult to see there. Yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. There's 2, here's 3, and 4, and it's gonna get really tight. There's 5. And our last one right here is 6. If I can see it, there we go. 6. Awesome. Now to fasten this off, what we're going to do actually is one more step. We're going to put our hook into this next stitch, this first stitch right here, and then straight across from it right here, you can see the 4th stitch. So it's the 1st and 4th stitch. I just went through the back loop of that 4th stitch there, and then we're going to yarn over, pull through both of those stitches, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So that's our very last stitch there. And then I'm going to chain 1 and cut this yarn and pull it through and pull tight. I'm going to remove the stitch marker, and we're going to insert our hook into the back here all the way, whoops, all the way to where we fastened this off right here. Hook that little strand on and just pull it to the inside of this penguin. Okay, then you can kind of pull off any extra polyfill or whatever if you have little strands kind of make it look nicer. There we go. There's your little penguin. Now, we just have to do a few more details. We're going to put wings on this thing and some feet, some happy feet. So let's set this little guy aside, or girl, guy girl aside right there, and grab some black yarn, and we'll start by making a wing. So let's make a slip knot. Put your short end over the long end, fold that down, and then pull that through and pull it tight. Insert the hook, and our wings we are going to put, or we're going to chain 2 here, 1 and 2, and in the second chain from the hook we are going to put 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, here's 4, whoops, 4, 5, and 6. And just like the penguin's body, we worked in continuous rounds and in the back loops only. That's exactly what we're going to do for this piece. So I just grabbed a stitch marker, and for round 2 we are putting 1 single crochet in each stitch around, so for again a total of 6 stitches, and I'm working in those back loops there. So there's 1, next stitch is 2, then the next stitch is 3, here's 4, next stitch is 5, and the last stitch is 6. Okay, going on to round 3, we can move our stitch marker up. And for round 3, we are going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So go into this next one here, put 2 single crochets in there, 1 and 2, and then put 2 single crochets in each stitch. So there was 2, here's 2, next stitch, 2, 1 and 2. At the end of round 3, we will have 12 single crochets, and I'm almost done with this round, so you just continue watching. And then for the next round, well, we're actually done increasing now, so let's count our stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Awesome. So I have 12 stitches around, and that was round 3. Move the stitch marker up for rounds 4 through 7. So 4, 5, 6, and 7. The next 4 rounds, we are going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around, working in those back loops. And then after round 7, I will meet you up at that clip. We will go on to the next step. Alright, just finished round 7. If you wanted to make it a little shorter, you could end it on round 6. So however tall you want or however long you want your wing to be, you can end whenever. Or go on to round 8 if you need to make it longer, no big deal. So when you're ready to fasten off, we're just going to go into this next stitch right here, and you can see I went under both loops there. Just yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook, okay? Then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to cut our yarn long for sewing, and then pull that all the way through and pull it tight, remove the stitch marker, and then we're going to flatten this piece out. Okay, kind of stretch it a little bit. And then what you need to do is make one just like this. So if you need to rewind this, make another wing exactly like it, just like this one here. So you have 2 nice wings. Okay, and then once you have both wings finished, I think actually I did 1 extra round on this one, so once you have them equal sized, then we're going to sew them onto our penguin. Alright, so I'm just yarning my needle with the long strand we cut from making this wing here. I already sewed on this wing on the penguin, so now we're just going to put it on the other side here. Just make sure you're on the same line. And since I worked in the back loops of this work, I'm going to actually sew this to the front loop that's free right here. Right next to where the white ends, right here, is where we're going to sew it into the corresponding color, just like this. And we're going to just kind of whip stitch, so go through both layers because we're going to sew this closed as well, and then just go through the front loop there. And just round, next 2 loops here, next stitch, oops, sorry, there we go, around, and just like that, all the way through each stitch. Okay, then to fasten this off, I'm going to tie a knot. Let me just get one more stitch in there. Oops, there we go. Okay, so there we have our wing on. Now we just want to tie a knot. So we're going to go underneath a couple of the loops, just like that, a couple stitches. Keep your finger in the loop, come back through the loop, and then just pull tight. And you can do that once or twice. And then we're just going to hide this inside the wing just by pulling that through. Okay, and then cutting that, stretching it out, hiding that end. And there you have both of your wings attached. That looks silly. Okay, so now, that looks like a little silly bird. I just gotta fix my eyes. There we go. So now we just have to do one more thing, well, 2 more things I guess. Make some feet and then make this into an ornament. So let's grab our orange yarn. I'm gonna set this little guy aside. Grab your crochet hook and some orange yarn. You literally just need a scrap. We're going to make a slip knot. I showed you how to do that earlier. Ooh, whoa. I need to know how to make a slip knot here. There we go. And what we're going to do is just chain 2, 1 and 2, and then put 4 half double crochets into that second chain there. So yarn over, go into that second chain from the hook, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and that's a half double crochet. So that was 1, so yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. There's 2, here's 3, and 4. And then chain 1 and cut your yarn long for sewing and pull it through and pull tight. Okay, and there's 1 foot. So make sure you make 2 of these exactly the same, just like that. And then we can sew it onto the bottom of our penguin. I'll show you one and then you can make, or you can sew on the other one. So again, I'm just going to yarn my needle with the long strand here. Okay, we're going to position it on this side, on the bottom, right here. And we're just going to whip stitch this, just like that, in the front loops of your work. And I'm actually going to, when I tie this off, I'm going to tie the 2 strands in a knot. So I have my straggler strand here and this strand that I'm sewing with. I'm just going to tie those 2 in a knot, and that will attach this piece to the penguin. Okay, just like that. Looks good. So now I'm just going to take this strand and tie them together. And then I'll just take my scissors and cut those shorter. And then I'll take my yarn needle and hide these on the inside to the back, just like this, and pull them through. And then stretch it out, and then cut the extra and hide it. Awesome! He's all happy. So I just need to put 1 more foot on him, and then we'll be almost done. Alright, so I just added the other foot there, so now what we're going to do is one last thing. If you want to, you can just be done and have this cute little guy be your little amigurumi, give it as a gift. It's super cute. Otherwise, you can turn it into an ornament, which I'm going to do. I just took a black piece of yarn here. I'm going to go underneath some of these stitches on the top of the head, just like this. And then we're just going to tie a knot, make sure it's even. There we go. See how long we want to make the top here. Go around, crisscross, come back around through that loop and pull that, and then make this as long as you want it to be. About right there is good. Okay, then cut any extra. And then what I'm going to do is hide this knot inside of the penguin. So I'm just going to come out here and then just pull this knot to the inside like that, and then just pull this up. I just like to hide my knots so that nobody can see that, and there it is. Cute little penguin ornament. Awesome! Thank you so much for watching and learning how to make this cute little guy. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to click like on the video if you learned something today. Make sure to subscribe to our channel here on YouTube so you can get the update on when my dad puts out the next video. How much fun was that? I had so much fun making all these ornaments. Make sure to check out the other ornaments in the collection at YARNutopia.com. And until next time, happy hooking!